Hey, what's up everybody? Hope you are doing great today. This is Hassan from Bixpan. Welcome to part 3 of our tutorial. Let's start. Okay, now let's add the shadows to the main girl. How we can do this? First of all, choose the main girl layer. Okay, let's group it. Control plus G. Let's call it school girl. Now choose the schoolgirl layer. We want to add some shadows under her legs. How we can do this? Hold Control and click this create new layer icon to create new layer below the layer you choose first. Okay, before the brush tool, make sure the opacity is 100%, the flow is 100%. Hold Alt to get this eyedropper tool chase. Choose some color closer to the background here. Double click on the foreground color, make it a little bit darker and a little bit desaturated. Hit OK, give it one stroke, change the blending mode to multiply, hit enter, Control plus T to transform, right click, choose perspective, choose any one of those two corners, right up or down, make the points touch each other, hit enter to confirm, Control plus T to reposition. Okay, hold shift, choose the middle here and click and drag. Okay, let's position it. Now we have some issue that it is not going with the same direction of the light beams. How we can make it go with the same direction? Again, let's hit Control plus T to transform, choose this area here, hold Control, this icon here will appear, click while holding Control, Shift to make it move in a straight line, try to match the perspective of the light beams. Okay, let's hit enter to confirm, maybe move it a little bit up. Okay, now let's reduce the opacity of the shadow layer, move it up a bit, maybe closer to the girl leg. Okay, I think this is good. Okay, I think we are going in the right direction. You can position it however you want. Okay, let's do the same technique for the girl, maybe a little bit different. Let's create new empty layer before the brush tool. I think the color should be darker. Hit OK, let's give it one stroke, Control plus T for transform, hold shift, click and drag. Okay, position it however you want. Scale it from the center by holding Alt. Let's zoom in a bit to have a closer look. Hold Control here at this corner to move it up to match the perspective and the direction of the light beams, maybe a little bit like this. Scale it from the center and hit enter. Okay, I think this is right and we are going in the right direction, but it's not covering all the area under or below its feet. So let's create new layer before the brush tool, make it much smaller. Okay, and let's make the opacity 5%. Let's add the extra area of shadows manually by start brushing. Yes, okay, this what we are adding here is called the contact shadows. Okay, when the main subject leg contacts with the background or the floor, it will create some shadows. Now let's see before and after. Yes, I think we have done a good job. Make sure the shadows matches the light source in your artwork. For example, if the light is coming from the right direction, the shadows should be reflected on the left side. Okay, now let's make the girl interact a little bit with the light. How we can do this? This will be on two steps. First of all, choose the schoolgirl layer, create new empty layer, hold Alt and hover over between the two layers to have this icon. Click. Now we have a clipping mask. Before the brush tool, make sure the foreground color is white. Okay, the opacity will be 5%, the blending mode will be overlay. Now let's start adding some details or some light to the edges of the main subject. I think the opacity is a little bit low. Let's make it 10%. Now let's add again. Welcome back, guys. Now let's see the before and after. Okay, now we have a little bit of effect of this highlights coming from the light beams. Okay, but I changed the blending mode from overlay to screen. I didn't like how the overlay looked. Now let's add some extra light. Create new layer. Again, hold Alt, hover over between the two layers, click to create clipping mask. B for the brush tool, make it bigger. Okay, and change the blending mode this time to overlay. We can change it later and start brushing. We want to add some highlights to the right side of the main subject. Again, let's see before and after. Yes, I think we are going in the right direction. Okay, this is right, and giving it color closer to the colors of the background. Okay, let's do the same thing for the disc here, but we will not give it some extra attention because it's not a main subject or main element in our composition. Let's choose the disc layer again by holding Ctrl and click on the layer you want to choose. It will be chosen automatically in the layer panel. Let's create new layer. Hold Alt, hover over between the two layers, click to create clipping mask. B for the brush tool, make the opacity 10%, and let's start brushing. Yes, it is getting some light from the light beams here. Let's see before and after. Okay, I think it maybe need to change the blending mode. I think overlay will look good. Let's see before and after.
Blending the main subject in your artwork is a crucial part to make your artwork looks more interesting and natural.
I think it looks good. Okay guys, what is the next step? Let's add some extra elements to the composition to make it more dynamic and have a better composition. Go to File, Place Embedded, choose the first graduation cap. Okay, let's flip it the other way around. Right click, flip horizontal. Let's scale it, rotate it a bit. Okay, let's make half of the graduation cap inside the composition. Hit enter. Let's add some Gaussian blur. Again, how we can do this? By holding Ctrl plus Alt plus F. I think maybe we can increase the value a bit this time. 5 is good. Okay, now it is a little bit lighter than the background. We want to make it a little bit darker. The way to go is Ctrl plus L to open this level panel. This white slider here, let's click and drag to make it darker. Hit OK. Maybe let's add some color to it to blend it more with the background. How we can do this? Hold Ctrl plus U to open the hue saturation panel. Let's colorize it this time. Let's decrease the saturation. Okay, let's choose a color closer to the background. I think anything with those blues are good. Let's hit OK. Now let's see before all the smart filters we added. Yes, it is much better and blending very well with the background. Now let's add the other graduation cap. Go to File, Place Embedded, choose the other one, move it to this corner here, flip it horizontally, right click, flip horizontal, position it however you want in the corner, maybe scale it a bit. move it down. Now let's create the same steps we did. I will speed it up guys for you.
By adding blurred elements in the foreground, we are enhancing our composition to make the illusion that we are in a 3D space, not a flat 2D space.
Welcome back guys. We added the same smart filters to the graduation cap on the right. Let's see before and after. Okay, much better. Now we want to group all those elements together, the book, the girl, and the extra details we added. How we can do this? Choose the first layer, which will be the paper plane if you are going with the same order I did. Scroll down to the last layer, it will be the book. Hold shift, click, all the layers in between will be chosen. Ctrl plus G to group it. Let's call it main subject. Okay, let's reposition it a bit and scale it down a bit. Ctrl plus T for transform, maybe a little bit scale down. I think this is good. Let's hit enter to confirm.
That's it for today guys, see you in the next chapter.